beat lifeless Miami. The downside is they're currently drafting 20th, and they have a stopgap at quarterback, no long-term solution, and they don't have any assets to trade up. TJ Watt, old. Cam Hayward, old. Jalen Ramsey, old. They let go of Pickens. Aaron's old. So how many first-round picks do you want to give up to go get Mendoza or maybe a Dante Moore? So, again, it feels good. It's a candy rush, but it's Groundhog Day. Stopgap at quarterback, barely above 500, rinse and repeat, and that's where we are. And they also are dominant at home on Monday Night Football. They just don't lose. So I feel like the Steeler model is what I have a problem with. They care about two things that just don't matter to people with high standards. One of them is, hey, we've got a winning record. Sean Payton never talks about that in Denver. It's not a thing. 60 teams since 2003 have had winning records and missed the playoffs. If you have high standards, winning record is not a top 3 or 4 thing. Winning division, winning playoff, winning conference championships, winning Super Bowls, winning a big free agency on a star quarterback in his prime. That's the stuff people care about winning. The other thing is winning on Monday Night Football. Yippee! How about winning in January? Been a while. So I think, again, Aaron Rodgers deserves, to me, a ton of praise. He's a 42-year-old guy, and he was much better. I mean, he's a different class of quarterback than Tua. The Dolphins got to cut bait with Tua. That thing's over. He is a backup quarterback in this league. But I think this one stat about the Steelers really sums up the organization. 17 teams in the NFL, slightly more than half, have a positive point differential. Where are the Steelers? 17th. just treading water, just barely, just got their chin above it. And that's what they are. Aaron has turned their red zone woes into red zone wins. At 42, not a great O-line, not a dependable run game. OC. So Aaron deserves all sorts of praise. And short term, it feels really good. But I look at last night, I'm sitting there in the third quarter, and I think they had like a 21-3 lead, and I'm like, what does it mean? It feels like Aaron is one of those consultants that used to come by local TV stations or radio stations I would work for, and it was a fresh set of eyes, and you'd bring them in, and they could solve some little problems in the building. But consultants always left pretty soon, and all the big stuff like bad ownership or a bad GM or, not very good content, they couldn't solve the big stuff. Aaron can't solve the fact they spend way too much money on defense, and Aaron can't solve the fact they still just love bragging about winning on Monday Night Football.
Okay. What does this take right now? This was some of the best ball the Steelers have played all season long, and we're just now going to just go on and on and on about all the Steelers' problems for the last 10 years or something and into the future. That's not what this is about. If you want to have that conversation in February, March, April, May, that's fine. That's totally fine. Talking about that right now makes zero sense to me. I would love for the Steelers to be able to draft this awesome quarterback, a 23-year-old who they can develop, blah, 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 blah. That's not where they're at right now. That's not what the season's about right now. Not every conversation about the Steelers has to be this big, larger-than-life picture about who they are as a franchise, what they need to do, the directions that they need to take. Their defense was awesome. And it wasn't just because about Miami. They were tough, they were physical, they were violent, they were intense. They were aggressive. This was Aaron Rodgers' best game for the Steelers. The offense as a whole, Gainwell, DK like MVS, like it was awesome. I don't know what to tell you. This was a great game. I'm looking at them freezing cold, and I was thinking, thank God I don't live in Oakland anymore. Thank God I'm not out in Pittsburgh right now. Because it was cold. It was cold. And you could see that this team is built to play in the cold. This team is built to play in the cold. What if the Chargers have to go play there, or the Texans, or the Jags, or, whoever? Obviously, not all those teams can necessarily happen depending on seeding, but like this team's built for the cold right now. They can win some cold games, in the playoffs. So, like going on this whole thing about, the Steelers' philosophy and they're bragging about winning on Monday Night Football. I don't hear anyone bragging about that right now. Like, yeah, they mentioned it on the broadcast, but I don't see fans in the comment section being like, that's right, we don't lose on Monday Night Football. I'm not seeing that. Before I get any deeper, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, please do not forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. It is without a shadow of a doubt the best way to support the growth of this channel. When you guys do that, views go through the roof, subscribers go through the roof, and I can't emphasize this enough. It's not just about chasing views or chasing subscribers. Yes, of course I want all the views I can get and all the subscribers that I can get, but it's about creating content that people genuinely want to see, that they want to interact with. Trying to create the best possible Steelers content that I can, so that when I do make it, people want to talk about it, people want to discuss it. We can have real, unbiased, grounded conversations, so please don't forget. Oh, to subscribe and watch the full length of the video, it goes such a long way. Thank you. Now, back to whatever the heck this was. I don't know, man. Listen, I've had takes and conversations about wanting the Steelers to be more aggressive, make moves at the quarterback position, and the options of even a Daniel Jones, a Sam Darnold. Now maybe like M. Jones is that next version of that, and all of that is on the table. It really is, but that's just not what this year right now is all about. And if this defense was even better, like they said, listen, obviously they believed, hey, our defense is going to be great this year. It's going to be elite. It's going to be special. That was like that's what they believed that they had. And maybe they still will. Maybe it's coming into form, but let's just say that was the mentality. And they're like, yeah. And so then we're going to bring in a seasoned veteran like Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be able to make a few nice plays throughout the game, run the offense, minimize mistakes, manage the games at a high level, and we're going to come away with wins. Something like the Denver Broncos did when they won with Peyton Manning. It's just that at that point, that was their best decision, rather than saying, we're going to go take a swing on Sam Darnold or take a chance, roll the dice on a Daniel Jones. Because then they could run into similar problems where it's like, hey, we got a great defense, but our offenses, we're still turning the ball over too much. We're kind of making too many mistakes, etc. You saw on full display last night what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table. That man is an elite quarterback. He runs an offense at an elite level. He knows exactly what needs to be done in every single moment. He knows exactly where everyone needs to be offensively, exactly what the defense is looking to do, and he knows how to do it better than anyone else currently. He might not have the physicality, and the athleticism there of like a Lamar or whatever right now, but boy, does he know how to run an offense at the highest level. And he knows what needs to happen. Do you think other quarterback, you think Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones is looking at the line being like, we're doing this wrong. What are we doing? Either get the plays in quicker or whatever the case is. Do you think any of those other quarterbacks are doing that right now? You think any of these rookie quarterbacks coming out of the draft are doing that stuff right now? They're not. It's exactly why the Colts went out and got Phillip Rivers. So, if you want to criticize this defense for not being good enough or them not, supporting Aaron enough, that's fine. I get it. But, if the Steelers had right now, the Houston Texans defense or something, this Steelers team can legitimately make a Super Bowl run. So, the question is can Mike Tomlin continue to improve this defense? Can this defense continue to elevate? A lot of people were really low on Ramsey and made fun of the move. And yet Ammon couldn't stop singing his praises, saying how unbelievable he's been playing this year. A lot of people bashed the Aaron Rodgers decision, said, oh, brother, here we go again. He's been awesome for the Steelers. He's been awesome. He's been an awesome teammate, an awesome culture guy. He's elevated this team. He's demanding that they do certain things that they wouldn't have otherwise done, and it's working. So I don't get the point of trying to kind of bash the Steelers here, because it just doesn't make sense. even if they lose first round, like it's like considering the circumstances, what do you imagine they'd be able to magically do? Well, you could say, well, they should have been more aggressive. They should have traded TJ Watt and this that did, and like all of that stuff can be valid for sure. All of that can be valid for sure. But they made the decision, hey, we got a great defense. We have a pretty darn good offense. We have a good offensive coordinator. We just need a quarterback right now to tie it together, and we can be really competitive. And their defense has let them down a little bit, and their lack of consistent run game has let them down a little bit, but it's just like they're not actually as far from being like truly Super Bowl contenders in this immediate moment as people want to imagine. You know, they took the swing on DK Metcalf and whatnot, and you know, which again is they are taking swings. They are trying. Let's not pretend like, you know, even taking Aaron Rodgers wasn't a big swing, because it was. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings would have been better with Aaron Rodgers? I think we know that answer. Now, the Minnesota Vikings aren't even making the playoffs. The Vikings, and so if the defense could you know, carry their end of the bargain, then this team can go far. And so if this team doesn't go far and there's a problem, it's like that's where the conversation should go. And looking into next year, if the move is for a quarterback or you got to trade, you know, you got to make some aggressive moves, okay? Yeah, well then you look into that. That's totally par for the course, but or totally fair game, but I'm not so sure I see the point of that part of the conversation right now in the middle of December after a really great win. And the Miami Dolphins did come out the gate. They did come out aggressive. They did come out with a purpose. This was not a team that was just waving the white flag. Like they were getting after it, and the Steelers said that's great, but not tonight, and the Steelers deserve tremendous credit for that. So I don't know, but those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers? I mean, do you think this team is, I guess, even worth watching right now? Because I guess who cares? Whoopity whoopity doodah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.